Hello guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about Elias Pettersson and why I am so wrong about him. Now, Elias Pettersson has been an absolute star and has been the Calder favorite so far this season, but I made predictions for his point totals before the season started. So how did my predictions hold up? Watch till the end to find out. Now, Elias Pettersson has been an absolute god on ice for the Vancouver Canucks so far this season, being one of the most valuable players in the entire NHL and arguably being the most valuable NHL rookie so far this season, and showing why he is one of the best rookies we've seen for a long time. And the points that he's been able to put up so far this season are absolutely incredible. So far this season, he's played 48 games, getting 26 goals, 27 assists for 53 points. Certainly very, very impressive numbers for any player in the NHL, but as a rookie to be over a point per game and to be as much over a point per game as he has been is certainly impressive, especially when you factor in how many times he's been injured over the course of the season. Now, going into this season, while I really did like Elias Pettersson's game as a hockey player, I was not too sure how he would transition into the NHL. Whether it would be smooth or whether it be rough, I wasn't exactly sure, and I kind of had it in the same area. I kind of had him a little bit more conservative when it came to the point totals, but so far, he has definitely proved me wrong. Now, before the NHL season started on August 31st, I made a video titled, "Are the expectations for Elias Pettersson too high?" And that video, it was a pretty fun one to make, and it's a very interesting one to look back on because with a lot of my predictions, I made a lot of predictions about Elias Pettersson and the rookie race of the entire NHL in that video, but I was really kind of harping on Elias Pettersson, and I did not have the most hope in the world for him, but I made a lot of predictions that looking back today, I would not have made if I knew he was going to produce this well. Now, I'm going to show you guys a few clips from that video about Elias Pettersson and my expectations and predictions for him, and let's just say it did not age too well. So for me, I'm going to lower my expectations just a little bit for Elias Pettersson than some other people. I don't see him being in the Calder race like some other people. I don't see him being that fantastic player year one, as a lot of people do. I still see that slow start coming from him, as it might take a little bit for him to transition into the NHL player that a lot of people expect him to be. So this next season, he's going to get a lot of attention. He's going to get a lot of hype, both from the fans, the NHL, and the Vancouver media. He's really going to be the spotlight for the Vancouver Canucks and being one of their bright spots next season when he hopefully makes the NHL. So I feel like he will be a little bit overhyped here. I don't see him being in that Calder race. I don't see him winning it at all, but I do see him still being there, but I don't think he'll be as high as people really do expect. Now, while I do expect Elias Pettersson to be a contender for that Calder trophy, as I mentioned right then, I do think that he'll have a slow start, and I do think he'll pick it up in the second half, but I don't know if it'll be enough to get in that Calder race. The Calder race this season is looking absolutely stacked. There's a ton of rookies that could be in that class, so really it could go a lot of different ways, but for me, I feel like it won't be enough for him to really be in that class because I think it's just going to be dominant this season. But again, there's a little bit of a problem here because a lot of Vancouver Canucks fans, a lot of fans of just the NHL in general, really do expect him to be in that Calder race, really do expect him to be that impact player on day one. And I don't really think if he can really transition to there quite yet. I do feel like it'll be a somewhat smooth first year, but I don't know if it'll be as good as people do expect. I do expect him to get a lot of points, especially in the power play. I think that will continue throughout the whole year, but I do expect a slow start from him, and I do expect somewhat of a transition problem from him going to the NHL from the SHL. Those predictions were even more bad than I could have even ever imagined, and that's saying a lot because I had the expectations low for my predictions. You guys know how bad I am at predicting, but that was at a whole nother level. Now, in that video, I predicted Elias Pettersson to get 50 to 55 points on the season, and that was pretty solid. I mean, for NHL rookies, that is usually a pretty great point totals, but with Elias Pettersson so far this season, he has blasted that out of the water, and so far getting 53 points in 48 games. He's on track to smash that prediction and to make me look bad at pretty much every single game, which is exactly what he's doing. But even when I was making those predictions, I was pretty tempted to put him below 50 points and maybe say that he would have a few injuries or something that would hold him back a little bit to only get 40 points or something. But I was willing to do it even lower at that point. And a lot of people were putting him in that 60 to 65 point range, which was pretty fair for him going into the season. And especially if you got power play time, that was going to be a big factor. I was still pretty conservative at that point. 55 points is still very good for a rookie, but what Elias Pettersson has done has smashed all those predictions, and for Vancouver Canucks, the fans, that is absolutely a good thing. Now, one of the other things I also predicted in that video is that the Calder race, the NHL rookie race, would be absolutely amazing. And that was something that I thought was going to be almost a guarantee, because when it came to points, you got guys like Middlestat, Jordan Kyrou, Elias Pettersson, you got, of course, Svechnikov. There was a lot of NHL rookies that were looking to maybe get 60, maybe even 70 points in the season, maybe even a couple to get 80 points. But so far this season with the rookie class, of course, you got Elias Pettersson just dominating, but there hasn't been a lot of guys that have been taking over the NHL like Elias Pettersson has. And when it came to the overall NHL rookie class, overall I think it is a pretty disappointing one. Even if Elias Pettersson has dominated, a lot of guys that I predicted to do well have done exactly the opposite. I mean, let's just look at the player who I predicted to win the Calder trophy. And going into the year, of course, I made predictions for every single NHL trophy. But one of the worst ones I made looking back on it was the Calder trophy. And the player who I predicted to win the Calder trophy was Casey Middlestat of the Buffalo Sabres, and that prediction was, I thought, pretty solid at the time. I thought he was going to be amazing alongside of Rasmus Dahlin and that Buffalo Sabres team, but the Buffalo Sabres have been pretty good when it comes to their expectations, but Casey Middlestat hasn't been that way and has been pretty meh and average, to say the least. But when it comes to Pettersson and the other rookies in the class, it's just a whole nother level. You got Elias Pettersson, and then you pretty much have every other NHL rookie, and it's pretty much a night and day difference between at least the forwards on the rookie class. And when it comes to the point totals, of course, Elias Pettersson leads all rookies with 53 points right now. Very amazing numbers. But the second place guy is right now Andreas Johnson with 31 points. Elias Pettersson having a 22-point difference on Andreas Johnson, and Elias Pettersson, of course, having a lot of those injuries that held him back quite a bit. Those stats are super, super impressive, and if you would have said those stats back to me a couple months ago or before the season started, I would have thought you were crazy, but here we are. And while granted, I think the rookie class should be a lot better when it comes to overall points, Elias Pettersson has still been amazing in what he's been able to achieve and what he's been able to do as an NHL rookie. And when you compare him to the other rookies in his class, he is just on a whole nother level, a whole nother island, and he is producing seemingly every single night with Vancouver Canucks, playing so well. And when it comes to Elias Pettersson's game, while he might not score a goal or get a point every single game, it seems like he's always doing something impressive. He's always doing something magical, and it never seems like he has that off night, which for a rookie at age 20 is one of the most impressive things that Elias Pettersson brings. Now, you guys know already, when it comes to predictions, myself, I am just terrible at them. I love making predictions. With almost anything I can on this channel, I would love to make predictions, but when it comes to actually getting it right, 10 times out of 10, I am wrong. And when it came to Elias Pettersson, his stats, and who would actually win the Calder trophy, I was wrong on pretty much every single thing possible. And Elias Pettersson has pretty much proven me wrong every single night and every night that he plays. When it comes to the predictions I make on the channel and in the videos, I usually like to be right, obviously, but I'm never right 100% of the time, obviously. But when it came to these Elias Pettersson predictions, I thought there was going to be some truth to it. Maybe it'll be a little bit wrong, but I was hoping I'd be in the ballpark. When it came to my predictions, they were so wrong that I'm just kind of surprised by how wrong they were, because even though I usually make wrong predictions, they usually aren't as wrong as the Elias Pettersson ones. But the day that I made that video is pretty much the day that Elias Pettersson became a superstar. So for Vancouver Canucks fans, you guys can thank me later. And yes, I do accept cash and credit card. But no, you don't have to pay me. You just have to thank me for Grav jinxing Elias Pettersson into the superstar he is today. But of course, with this video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. So let me know, what did you think about this video? What did you think about Elias Pettersson's season up to this point? And of course, what do you think about my predictions earlier in the season about Elias Pettersson and how wrong they were? But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you can click on this card right here to watch my video about Elias Pettersson, and if he's one of the Hart Trophy favorites. But that is going for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Can comment down below your thoughts on my terrible predictions on Elias Pettersson, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.